say there's a place on the outskirts of town where the earth never rests, a forgotten graveyard hidden behind a crumbling iron gate. The wind never stops howling and the air always smells like damp soil and rotting wood. Locals call it the hollow ground, and they whisper warnings: never go there after dark, never answer the whispers, and never ever look for the man in the gray coat. But curiosity is a stronger force than fear, especially for Marcus, a thrill-seeking urban explorer who had heard the stories but never believed them. Armed with a flashlight and camera, he stepped into the graveyard just after midnight on Halloween, when the veil between the living and the dead is said to be at its thinnest. The moment he crossed the threshold, everything changed. The wind died, replaced by a dense, unnatural silence. His flashlight flickered. The trees around the graveyard bent inwards like they were trying to trap him inside. But Marcus pressed on, heart pounding. He walked past crooked tombstones and shattered mausoleums, recording everything until he reached a massive open grave at the far end. The dirt was freshly dug, and beside it stood an old wooden sign. Rotted and cracked, barely legible, it read, "Here lies the Grey One. Do not disturb, lest you wake what cannot rest." Marcus laughed nervously, calling out to the empty air, mocking the legend. "Come on, Grey Coat, scare me." And then the ground trembled. Temperature dropped so suddenly that his breath turned to mist. His flashlight died completely, and in the pitch black, he heard it a dragging sound. Slow, heavy, deliberate, then the soft creak of leather shoes against gravel. When the moon broke through the clouds, Marcus saw him, a tall, thin man in a long, gray coat soaked with mud, face pale as chalk, and eyes hollow, not empty, hollow, like windows into nothingness. The man's mouth opened unnaturally wide, and from within came a sound that wasn't a scream or a growl, but something worse, a curse spoken in a dead language, cold enough to freeze Marcus where he stood. He tried to run, but the man raised one bony hand and Marcus collapsed. Not unconscious, not dead, worse, paralyzed, trapped, awake. The last thing Marcus saw was the man's coat opening like wings, revealing dozens of faces sewn into the lining, screaming, twisting, pleading. One of them was still fresh and looked just like Marcus. Now, they say, if you walk near that graveyard and the wind goes still, you'll hear footsteps behind you. Don't look back. Don't speak. Above all, never work right near the hollow ground. The dead man might mistake you for one of his own, and if he does, your soul won't rest either.